I'm Miss Jenny here at the Ward Museum. Today we're going to be doing a lesson all about eggs. To start off, let's get thinking about what is an egg. What's inside an egg? Where do they come from? And what's inside? So what's an animal that you know of that lays an egg? I know of one that's very popular, and you've probably heard of them. A bird. Birds lay eggs. That's right. What is the name of that thing that birds make to keep their eggs safe? Can you think of it? Well, I have one right here. It's called a nest. This is a bird's nest. What do you think it's made of? This one right here is mostly made of grass and twigs. Also, some objects that birds probably got from humans. There's some net, there's also some cotton. So these are all things that birds use to put together their nest. And what is it that goes inside the nest? That's right, an egg. Eggs go inside nests, and that's what we're talking about today. But first, I wanted to show you a couple of other nests that we have. I want you to think about what shape they are. This one's kind of a circle shape, don't you think? You can even make the shape with your hands. If you cup them together, this is a good shape to hold an egg. That way, the egg won't roll out. It's a good, safe shape. We also have some other nests that are different sizes. This one is a tiny nest. This one looks like it's all made out of the same kind of grass, don't you think? This one has a really nice cup shape. And look what birds use to make this one. These are pieces of plastic. Birds use the pieces of plastic for the bottom of their nest to hold it together. Here's one that's really cool. It's a little messy. This nest has mud in it. These birds use mud to hold together all these different sticks and pieces of grass and more cotton to make sure that they have a safe place for their eggs that will someday turn into what? What comes out of the eggs? That's right, the baby chicks, the baby birds. So now we know that birds come from eggs, and we also know how birds keep their eggs safe. What is that thing called again? A nest, that's right. Birds keep their eggs safe in a nest. So I want to know if you think that there are any other animals that lay eggs. There's a lot of animals out there. Wonder if there are any others that lay eggs. We are going to be scientists today, and we are going to do some research and even do a fun activity to find out. At this point, we are going to listen to a story. Now, if you have this book at your home, it's called An Egg is Quiet. You can also use the book called What Will Hatch. If you have these books at home, you can go ahead and read them now. You can read one or both, whatever you want. You can also click the link to hear them on YouTube. Or you can keep listening and Mr. Wesley will tell us the story. I'm sure you learned a lot from that book. There's a lot of cool information about different animals besides birds that come from eggs. We're going to do an activity now where we are going to get to see some really cool eggs, and these are just plastic eggs. And we are going to see some of the animals inside them, and we're going to talk about them a little bit. And all of the animals that we find inside these eggs actually lay eggs and come from eggs. So let's see what's inside this one. Wow. What animal is this? Can you tell? That's right, this is a fish. It looks like a goldfish. Did you know that fish come from eggs? That's pretty amazing. Now, where do you think a fish would live? Do they like to live on land? No, fish like to live in the water, right? I wonder what kind of food a fish would eat. Maybe some small bugs or algae or other water plants? That's right. So fish lay eggs. Let's look at a few more eggs. Here's a nice orange one. I wonder what animal will be inside. What animal is this? See his nice hard shell? It's a turtle. Turtles come from eggs. Most turtles dig a hole and will lay their eggs right there in the ground. That's where they put their nest. It's a little bit different than birds. Most turtles like to live in the forest or near water. Let's look at another. Nice pink one. Ooh. What kind of animal is this? It's an insect. This is a dragonfly. That's right. Dragonflies lay eggs. Dragonflies are really interesting because they lay their eggs into the water, and the baby dragonflies actually live in the water. We find them a lot in our pond. They're really interesting. They're called dragonfly nymphs. Isn't that interesting? And they come from eggs too. They love to live near a pond. Here's another egg. Let's see what's inside. Oh boy. What is this? It's a kind of bird. Can you tell what color it is? This is a blue heron. Blue herons are just amazing. We see them a lot around our pond here at the Ward Museum on Shoemaker Pond. They're beautiful. And guess what? They lay eggs. Great blue herons love to live near water because they like to eat fish. They really like our pond. Let's look at some more eggs. Another nice orange one. What's inside this one? What's that? What kind of animal is this? It's another insect. It's a butterfly. Butterflies lay eggs too. Butterflies love to live near meadows where there's lots of flowers. See the flowers in this picture even? Because they like to eat the nectar from the flowers. So butterflies come from eggs too. Let's look at another. Ooh. What animal is this? Can you tell what color it is? A nice shiny back. It's red. It's a ladybug. Ladybugs are red with black spots on them. Ladybugs come from eggs too. This one looks like it's about to munch on a leaf. All right. We've got a few eggs left here. Wonder what's in here. This is a nice one. What is this? It's a bird. Do you know what kind of bird it is? What color is its chest? It's red. That's a good clue that this is a robin. Robins are really nice birds. I've been hearing them sing a lot lately. So robins, of course, come from eggs, and their eggs look kind of like this, a little bit smaller, but they're this color, robin's egg blue. So robins come from eggs, and they have their eggs in a nest, similar to the ones that we saw a little earlier. Okay. What is this? What color is this? This right here is a toad. Kind of a green-brown color. Toads come from eggs too, did you know that? What kind of a place do you think a toad would like to live? Probably in a forest or near a pond, somewhere like that. They like to be near water. That's right. Toads come from eggs too. All right, this is our last egg for the day. Ooh, and it's a good one. What kind of animal is this? It's a lot different than some of the other ones that we've seen. That's right, this is a crab, and this is a very special crab to us here in Maryland. See what color on its, right here, above its claws? Blue, it's a blue crab. Blue crabs are really cool. So crabs come from eggs. You might remember that from the story. Blue crabs come from eggs. Where do you think a blue crab would like to live? Do you think he would like to live in a meadow? I think if I was a blue crab, I would want to live in the bay. That's where most blue crabs live. Before we finish up, I want to ask you a couple things. What was one of your favorite animals that you learned about today that comes from an egg? Think about what your very most favorite one was. I think my favorite is probably the heron. I love great blue herons, and I think it's so cool that they come from eggs. What's your favorite? That's a good one too. I'd like to thank you all for learning about animals that come from eggs with me today. I had a lot of fun. I really liked looking at the nests and getting to open up all of these eggs. That was a lot of fun. If you are really interested in animals that come from eggs, you can try some of these other activities to keep the fun going. You can draw a picture of some of the animals that you learned about today. You can draw what you think they look like inside their egg, and then what they look like when they grow up. You also can take an adult with you and go on a walk. When you walk around, you can look at different animals that you see and think about which ones come from eggs and which ones don't. Do squirrels come from eggs? No, squirrels don't come from eggs. What about if you see someone walking a dog? Does a dog come from an egg? No, dogs don't come from eggs either. What about if you see a robin? Does a robin come from an egg? Yes, it does. What about if you see a butterfly? Does a butterfly come from an egg? It does, that's right. So go ahead and do some more of these activities if you'd like to learn even more about animals that come from eggs. Thanks for learning with me today.